y'all. How is everybody doing? With the climate that we're in right now, with the immigration situation, it took me back to a time where I myself was an immigrant. Was I an immigrant? Yes, I was. I lived in Suriname for about a year, Nikiri particularly. And I have to say that it was the best year of my life to date, okay? And I've had some fabulous years, okay? But that year in Suriname, let me tell you, I've learned a lot. I met some amazing people, genuinely good, kind hearted people that taught me so much about life. I was just about 18. And I went over there with my mom, and my mom introduced me to Auntie, which was her friend, and we became really good friends. And then Auntie introduced me to Debbie, and so it was us. That was the clique, me, Auntie, and Debbie. Auntie was 40, Debbie was 30, I was 18. Go figure. However, I was the life of the party. Who knew? Anywho, we had a ball. Auntie used to love her drinks, and Debbie loved her smokes. I didn't do either. And I tell people all the time, I am not a follower, never been, because I'd have been a mess. I'd have been a drug addict, I'd have been a prostitute, I'd have been everything. I'm not a follower. I make I make my own lane and I stay my ass in it. That's what I do. What you do, what makes you happy, that's on you. And I've learned that because it makes you happy, it makes you feel good, that doesn't mean it's going to work for me, right? And I I guess I don't know if it's luck or blessed, but my personality don't need help. I don't need help to be up and ready. You know what I mean? So I don't need a drink. I don't need to smoke. I just be me. Give me a bottle of water and I'm good. You know? So yeah, they'll be doing what they're doing. I got my bottle of water and I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'm having just as much fun as everybody else. Right. But those girls taught me so much. I mean, they taught me, they showed me how to party. And I remember I had a friend, I met this nice guy while I was there. And that's another story for another time. But anywho, he was good to me. We all had a good time together, right? And I remember the girls, they had a thing every weekend. We were in the bars, just about every night. There was a bar right down the street. I think it was called Durga Bar, right down the street from us. I think we stayed on Oscar Strat or Astor Strat. I don't remember. But anyway, we would walk. It was like about half a mile from my house. And we would walk to the bar and we just hang out there. Then across the street there was the cinema. And then there was Maya and Paya selling food in front of the cinema. And the Durga is right across the street. That's where everything was happening in the Cary, okay? Honey, I had me a good time. 18-year-old don't know nothing about party. Here she come. Hey! I had a good time. They showed me a good time. They were such good, respectable people. However, my mom, she was so serious about us not being in the country illegally. So what we had to do, I think it was every 3 months, we had to leave the country, go back to my original country, Guyana, stamp, they call it stamp out and stamp back in, meaning you go through immigration as if you're leaving the country. Well, you are leaving the country, but then you're coming right back on the next boat. So every 3 months we had to do that. My mother, that lady is so amazing. I have the most amazing mother. And she always said, "You're never gonna be legal because I don't want the scout too." That's what they call the police over there. I don't want the scout too to pick you up because you and them girls, y'all forever on the streets. That's right, mommy. We gonna be on these streets, but we legal in these streets, okay? We legal in these streets. And good for me. I've never been arrested. I've never been approached. I don't even know what dealing with the scout is like. I was a good girl. I had fun. I had a good time. Um, I remember I was trying to get a job and I couldn't speak the language. I think I knew maybe four words. I knew Frau, which is a lady. I knew my empire, that's male, female. Male, female? Yeah. And then Strat, that's the streets. Little things like that I know, but I couldn't save myself. So I went for a job interview at this restaurant one time, and the man was like, "Do you speak English? Do you speak Dutch?" I'm like, "No, not really." I said Chinksa, which is a little bit. He goes, "Okay." So he spoke to me in Dutch as if he was a customer. I don't know what the hell that man said. He said, "Well, if you don't know what I just said, you wouldn't be able to tell the customer, you wouldn't be able to serve the customers." I said, "Well, that's true." He's like, "You can come and hang out and learn the language and, and stuff like that. And then once you get it, I'll hire you." Okay. That never happened because I never learned the language. I'm still with them four words. But anywho, that came and done. Another guy, a man, there was a fisherman. He was looking for a babysitter. So my mom told me about it. She said, go and talk to the gentleman over there. He don't speak any English either. So I went over there and, it was a sign language. Yeah, that's how we communicated. But I knew what he wanted. He knew I was there. And he would go on sea. He would go 7 days on and 7 days off. So he needed someone when he was gone for 7 days. He had a 2-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old daughter. They don't speak no English either. So, of course, it's sign language all the way through. Then he had an ex wife, and she would come to the house when he's on sea, and she was there with me, with the kids. Ain't nobody speaking no English. I don't speak no Dutch. So it was interesting. I ended up staying with them for about a month. And then I left, went to a baker shop. There was 2 doors down, there was a baker shop. So I said, let me go talk to the baker shop because it was so uncomfortable that I couldn't communicate with the people. So I said, let me go to the baker shop. I went to the baker shop one morning to buy breakfast, and I realized the guy in there was speaking English. So I spoke to him, and I was telling him, I said, I'm looking for a job. He says, yeah, we need somebody who can wash pans. I'm like, pans, okay. So he said, yeah. I said, well, okay, I'm working 2 doors down, but I'll only be there for this week, and then next week I'll be free. He's like, well, come next week and we'll talk about it. Okay. So I went. I went the following week, and this man said, okay, the pans are in the back. Okay, he took me in the backyard, literally in the backyard. There was a shed, and in this shed was some baking pans. I swear to you, the baking pans were as big as me. Okay? And I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do with these baking pans? He goes, I just want you to clean them. You see all these brown stuff in between here? I want you to take a knife and dig all that out and scrape it out. And yeah, that's gonna be your job. I said, okay, I can do that. Listen, I washed pans for 4 hours. I only got to two pans. 4 hours, digging, screaming. And I was done. I was like, this is not it. This is not it. I'm going home and learn Dutch because this ain't it. I went back after lunch. I did two other pans and I left. When I tell you, I did not even go back for my paycheck. That's how they worked the rust out of me. I'm like, I ain't even want to see them people for them because I'm afraid that if I went back, they'll make me work again. I'm like, I ain't doing that. No. I said, Ma, I'm not even going back for my paycheck. She go, but that's $25. I said, I don't care. I'm not going back there. But anyway, yeah, Suriname was an amazing place. So my feelings are mixed when it comes to the immigration situation. It's a little mixed. I mean, even me coming to America from Guyana, we waited until our papers were ready. My dad didn't, he made sure that we came legally. Well, I know I did. I can't speak for nobody else, but I know I did. And yeah, we waited for our papers to come, and then, I mean, I understand it. I totally get it, and my feelings are so mixed on that. How do I feel about people getting deported? That's not a good feeling because, a lot of those people that's being deported, they have lived here most of their lives. Most of them have lived here for over 10, 20 years. For example, me, I've been here since I was 18. If I ever get, well, I'm a citizen, thank God, but if I'm to get deported, where would I go? What would I do? I mean, I've lived here for most of my life, and a lot of those people that they're deporting have lived here longer than they've lived in their own country. What are they going to do? Where do they start? What do they? It's just so sad. It's really, really sad. But hopefully, there's a good end to everything, and everything happens for a reason. So hopefully, things will work out for them. Hopefully. On that note, have a good night, everybody.